Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we are back again talking about the absolute infinite depravity of the world. Now, granted, I actually thought about this for a while because I know that we always have the conversation of these people are just doing these things for rage bait, they just want people to talk about them, blah blah blah. And as much as I acknowledge all of that, I also think that there often are very few benefits to not talking about things. On one hand, yes, you might give a little bit of publicity to someone doing something fucky. On the other hand, it's also like a lot of the issues that we're talking about, though, have deeper implications than just like, oh, this person did this person did that. It's more usually, this person did this, which then results in blah, 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 blah. Because of that, we are once more here to talk about Lily Phillips. Now, if you don't remember who Lily Phillips is, do you guys remember Bonnie Blue? Lily Phillips is basically Bonnie Blue number 2, or they're all the same. Honestly, that sounds really harsh. I'm sorry, but if you're someone who's out here trying to have sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours, 100 men in 24 hours, you're all going to blend into one person for me because that is your only personality trait as far as we know. So here we are. The reason that we're talking about it today is because the depravity has gotten to a point where I genuinely feel like I need to start being harsher, which is funny because a lot of people already think I am too harsh. And I personally disagree. Like, if people could hear what was going on in my head, they'd know that I am very generous with my opinions, actually, with what I say out loud. But anyway, Lily Phillips, she posted this on Instagram, which it's a pregnancy announcement. So, as most of us guessed or surmised, it's fake. I'm not going to go into the whole thing of what I think about faking shit. You know when pranks were a big thing on YouTube and people would fake things all the time? I already thought it was fucked up back then, especially with things like pregnancy, because it's something that people struggle with, especially people with infertility, women who can't have children, men who can't have children, people who can't have children generally. It's not really a ha-ha, he-he thing for me. And I do have a dark sense of humor, but this in particular, I just think it's just never funny. It's very childish humor, in my opinion. We're going to talk about that because there is an article on the New York Post, and it's low-key kind of shady, which is why I liked it. So let's read that. Porn star Lily Phillips reveals sick pregnancy announcement. British porn star and OnlyFans model Lily Phillips has confirmed her pregnancy isn't real, revealing it is nothing more than role play for her subscribers. The 23-year-old, best known for crying after sleeping with 100 men in 12 hours, caused widespread confusion when she shared a photo of herself cradling a baby bump. The secret is out, Baby Phillips 2025, she captioned the post, which also included a photo of 2 positive pregnancy tests. Now, the popular OnlyFans star has confirmed to news.com.au her baby announcement was a publicity stunt, one aimed at servicing a specific need of her clients. Now, this is also where I call a level of bullshit because as far as I know, and I haven't checked this, but I've assumed, I don't want to go check, but I'm assuming she's on OnlyFans. If this is actually for her quote-unquote clients, why the fuck are you posting this on Instagram and not on OnlyFans? Because if you're posting it on Instagram, what I would think, and I think many other people will think, is that actually it's not really for your clients, it's a publicity stunt, as you said yourself, and it's to garner attention once more, which, like I said, I am giving here. But we are talking about something a little bit deeper, in my opinion, because the depravity here has gotten to a certain point where I think that it is making me want to draw far more lines, because for a long time, my opinion with a lot of things online was, if you're not hurting anyone and it's your life, you do what you want, right? It's your life. You do whatever the fuck you want. You want to fuck it up? Go ahead. It's yours. That being said, at this given point, the depravity has gotten to such a level where it's also like, okay, maybe don't be yourself that much. Maybe rein it in. Maybe go to therapy. Maybe rethink some of your life choices. And as much as I try to not be too judgmental about other people's life choices when it comes to big scale things. Like if it comes to like you're wearing an ugly outfit, I don't give a fuck. But if we're talking about things like this, life choices that are, in my opinion, are not only detrimental, but life choices that you will carry with you. And I've said this multiple times before, but I think it's worth repeating, is that these are not things that you simply walk away from. Forgetting anything else, let's just remember the digital footprint. Whatever you do online will be online. So for me, it's a question of also integrity. Because yeah, we can say that this is like a prank or whatever. What it comes down to is really lying for publicity about having a baby after you had sex with a billion men. Where's the integrity there? Like, as a person, I'm assuming she wants to be respected. How am I supposed to respect you if you're lying about shit like this and then saying that it's for your clients? Because if it's for your clients, why are these not private videos? Why are these not on OnlyFans? Why is it on Instagram? Why is it public? That's what I'm wondering, because it doesn't really add up to me, right? Especially people that are making money like this. All of your money basically is from OnlyFans or Pornhub or whatever the fuck. So it's like, why wouldn't you put it on those platforms? Why would you put it on Instagram unless you're rage baiting, content farming, whatever the fuck you want to call it? In which case, I'm asking, where is any of the integrity in that? And I already think there's very little integrity here, because lying about being pregnant is, I've personally always thought that that was really fucked up, but especially in this situation, because the implication here would be that one of the 1,000 men or 100 men or whomever, whatever, got her pregnant and she wouldn't know who the father was, and then that would cause even more drama. I actually thought that that was the plan, that she was going to continue saying she was pregnant, because I knew it was fake the whole time, because duh. But I thought she was going to say that she was pregnant, and then she would turn it into like almost a series of finding out who the father was because of what happened. Now, I unfortunately came across a podcast clip, and I'm not going to include it because I'm going to get copyrighted immediately. But in that podcast clip, I'll link it down below in the description if you want to see it. She basically said that she once, days after having sex with someone, or I don't know if it was after the 1,000 men, she found a broken condom inside her days later. Days. Lily's career choice involves roleplay, acting, and storylines to follow trending categories and hit target audiences in the adult industry, her publicist said exclusively. Have a look at age-old porn categories, niches such as breeding, pregnancy, etc., and correlate Lily's job with that. Many had struggled to believe Phillips' pregnancy claim, accusing the young adult entertainer of faking the news in order to boost her subscriptions. Yeah, she is faking the news to boost her subscriptions. Like, I mean, absolutely not one singular soul on planet Earth needed her to confirm that this was fake. We all knew. I remember even a friend texted me being like, hey, she's claiming she's pregnant. I think it's fake. And I'm like, yeah. Even my friend knew at the time. So, I mean, it's really ridiculous. And I don't like making the slippery slope claim, because obviously a lot of the times those are unfounded. But we do really need to wonder, where is this going? Like, what's the next step here? Because, okay, now you've faked a pregnancy. What's the next thing? What's the next thing you're going to fake? What's the next thing you're going to lie about? What's the next thing you're going to try and go super crazy for, going over the limit? And then she's also the same person who ended up crying after doing those like sex marathons with like 1 billion men, because obviously that shit is fucking traumatizing as hell. So, I mean, what is not clicking about this not working? Like, for your own mental health, let alone your physical health, but your mental. How do you not think that this is going to end up actually really hurting you? That's what I'm wondering. And this might be a shock to some people, and I'm sorry if it is. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. But I'm very, very, very old school about anything sexual. People are always surprised to hear that, because I'm heavily tattooed, so they think certain things, there are very many assumptions being made there. But about sex, I'm very old school, to a degree that most people probably wouldn't guess. And I just cannot imagine opening yourself up to that many people. And this is not talking about like, I'm not judging people who hook up with on the first date with a person they've been talking to. Like, it's not about that. This is so extreme that I'm like, your body and your mind will hurt from this because it is extreme. It would be like the equivalent, let's put it in really basic terms. It'd be the equivalent of someone who's used to eating 1,000 calories a day, and then the next day they decide that they're going to eat 7,000. What do you think that's going to do to your system? It's going to fuck you up. Why? Because you went to an extreme. How is that hard to understand? And that's also the thing that's like concerning to me is like, do you not realize that this is going to be a price that you're going to end up paying? Potentially in therapy for years and years and years and years because already it fucked you up. Already you cried about it. Already you felt like shit. I really don't know. At this point, it almost seems like a type of self-harm or a type of self-sabotage. I'm really not kidding about that. Lowest of the low to pretend to be pregnant while men and women struggle with infertility. You act like this is a joke. It's sick, one raged in the comments section. I'm sorry, but this is truly disgusting. You're clearly not pregnant, another agreed. As another asked, how are you showing that much? Noting that she had attended the AVN Adult Entertainment Expo in Las Vegas on January 25th, where she wore a high-cut bodysuit. Further flaming the doubters was the fact that Phillips' rival Bonnie Blue had also claimed she too was expecting just hours earlier. I'm not going to go on another tirade. I'm just going to say y'all are going to be real embarrassed in a couple of years about this. I'm just saying right now, you're going to be really fucking embarrassed about all of this. The sex worker who was booted from Australia over her schoolie stunt with barely legal young men shared a series of videos regarding her pregnancy, suggesting she may have fallen pregnant after she allegedly slept with 1,057 men in 12 hours. In one clip, she discussed the fact that condoms have a 99.9% success rate, but argued her high number of partners would increase her risk. But if you're sleeping with 1,057 men, the chances of me falling pregnant was 100%, she claimed. In another video, Blue, whose real name is Tia Billinger, said she was going to take another pregnancy test as she was keen to find out how far along she is. She also shared a photo of a strange meal she was eating made up of uncooked ramen noodles topped with chocolate sauce and sprinkles with a side of Macca's nuggets, captioned cravings. I think also what fucks me up about this is like, you're pregnant, but you're also catering to a particular demographic, as stated prior in the article, that is into that. So you're making fetish content over you being pregnant, allegedly. Won't that be a story to tell your kid? Like, hey, you know, when I was pregnant with you, I was making content for people to jerk off to on the internet for you, you little baby inside of me. Critics of the double baby announcement question the odds that two high-profile sex workers, famed for pulling controversial sex stunts for their paying subscribers, could both fall pregnant at the same time. So hold on, Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue are both pregnant, so they were doing all of that while expecting. Ah, come on, man, wrote one on X. God, these girls are doing my head in, said another. While What asked, what are the chances, prompting another to respond, not a single chance. News.com.au has contacted Blue for comment. Blue has openly admitted to using rage bait for views in the past, stating it's a tactic she used to become a multimillionaire. Phillips uses a similar strategy. As a result, many were buying the simultaneous baby announcements, a detail that has now been exposed as true, at least in Phillips' case. Don't fall for this stunt. Remember, they just out for your attention, argued one. I think this is their next marketing twist, mused another. As someone else suggested, they're both running out of marketing ploys. If this isn't a publicity stunt, I'll be amazed, agreed one more. There were some who fell for it, though, sending both Phillips and Blue a string of congratulations messages. So then it goes on to give a summary about like the 1,000 men ordeal, and I don't really think we need to cover that again. Lord knows I'm over it. I don't want to hear about it. It's enough. That's where we're at with this. I have a feeling this is not where it's going to end. I just really wonder what the next stunt is, and I think this is actually quite bad marketing because, yeah, we are talking about it, sure, but I think at some point, even the clientele of these women will not really be into this anymore because at some point, the ridiculousness becomes so absurd that it becomes boring. You know what I mean? It's like back in the day, like I said earlier, there were those prank channels, right? And the prank channels obviously lived off of absurd, crazy, over-the-top pranks. And the reason we got over that is because a level of absurdity in continuity is not only exhausting, but it's boring after a while. It's like having that one friend who's always having drama. At a certain point, you're over it. Like, as much as you want to hear the tea, you're fucking over it because it's too much all the time consistently. It's like you're overstimulated. And I feel like that's what these women are doing. They're overstimulating, and it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. I think we all know that because, like I said before, mentally, physically, this shit is going to catch up to you and it's going to fucking kick your ass. But aside from that, even for your clientele, at some point, they're going to be like, okay, I don't really care anymore. Because after a certain number of absurdities, nothing seems interesting anymore. It's like that one friend who continues lying and lying and lying and lying about, like, they did this and they did that. And after a certain point, it's like you don't even give a fuck anymore because it's just like, okay, well, you're lying. So why should I care about any of this? And, well, they're also lying. So I really don't know what the game plan is here. And granted, I think it was Bonnie Blue who's already a multimillionaire. So I guess she's set up for life and she can just disappear. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And I mean, I guess a lot of people are probably jealous of that. You know, you have a bunch of money now and you get to just fuck off. But what did you lose trying to get that money is the question, especially in terms of mental and emotional health, let alone physical health. In this article later on, I can link it, but at the very end, there's a doctor who actually chimes in saying that it's physically unhealthy to do that because you're overstimulating your body, you're potentially traumatizing your body depending on what exactly you're doing, because sex is a stress relief and all of these other things within reason. Once you go to the extremes, then it can fuck you up like with anything, right? The whole thing about moderation. But anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is probably the last time I'm going to talk about this unless something crazy happens, which honestly I doubt. I think it's just going to be more marketing ploys, and I am exhausted by it. Not just because I'm not sleeping well, but honestly just because it's becoming so fucking old. Like, you gotta make up shit all the time to be interesting. Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.